Hey guys, Road Warrior back here. I recently took first in Don't Bully Me Shark. Two things I wanted to kind of go over with you guys is number one, sometimes just in general, you guys are going to notice it's RNG. Another thing, I experimented with some Club Series hooks the other day on my channel, as you guys well know. But number two, my buddy Sam, Evil Sam, had said he was going to try the 8.0 in this, and like I said, I was trying the Club Series 6.0 hook. I don't know for sure if that's what did it or if it was just RNG, but nonetheless, I kind of want to go through here and give you guys a few tips. As far as the shark marks themselves, they are up on my channel. Feel free to take a look at all that. I've got pretty much every shark mark that I have, other than maybe one that I put up on my shark guide. So if you do need marks for Don't Bully Me Shark, Big Brother, or Blaze the Maze, they're on here. But I'll also show you the clip later on. But one thing I wanted to point out too here is, you notice a lot of times I'll put my bell down in this situation. And what I usually do that for is I'm wanting to drag my float back into place. It does help to do that. It doesn't scare the fish away. In other words, if you put your bell down, by that I mean the arrow, as you can see, I got the arrow down there until I get a bite. I do raise the rod tip up. Sometimes it'll set the hook for you, but it doesn't hurt to put that arrow back up on your drag. That is one key tip I will give you. That way when you go to, pull it into place, as you can see there, I do have the bell down numerous times. Also, I was at 27 inches on this peak. Now, you might have to alternate sometimes. Maybe they're a little deeper, a little shallower, but I think 27 is just, that's what I've always fished for sharks. Peaks could vary. In other words, you might have to go, 45 inches, 60 inches, something like that. But this one in particular, I was, pretty much an epic run for me. Also, another thing I will mention is big thank you to Fishing Planet. I know a long time ago, uh, it's kind of hard to place in these. You'll notice a lot of the people that are placing in this are not the same ones that used to place when the telescopic rod was a thing. So even though the fishing's a lot slower, I think that has opened up the playing field for the average person to come in here to feel like you got a chance. In other words, the guys that were always winning, doing the one pump chump method or the quick catch method with the telescopic rod, I'm glad that Fishing Planet finally patched that exploit, and an exploit it was. You should not be catching shark with a 13-pound setup. So enough said on that. But nonetheless, as this run here plays out, again, I got the bell down. I'm not getting a bite up there. So when you guys go to practice this, those sharks could be located in different spots on these markers. If I don't get a bite back there fairly quick, what I do is I'll pull it from one marker to the next and just kind of let it float out. Again, just a big note and a big tip. Probably 2 to 4 minutes per spot, and this peak is so bad on Don't Bully Me Shark. It's a lot different than it is on Big Brother. Anybody that's fishing with a float in Big Brother, that's a lot better of a shark peak. This peak in general, and Don't Bully Me Shark, is a very, very slow peak here at the Amazon. With that being said, I only give it each spot maybe 3 to 5 minutes real time, sometimes less. In that particular situation, I knew if there's not a shark back there, that they're usually sitting in the front, and that's just from experience of me farming here. Just a keynote on that. So learn your spots, as well as all the spots that I put up on my channel are really good shark marks, whether you want to farm or use in any three of the shark competitions here on Fishing Planet. So feel free to look around my channel on my bull shark guide. It's a very extensive, very thorough shark guide that will help you out tremendously, whether you're wanting to float fish, bottom fish, or lure fish. That's my favorite thing to do with kind of in the game in general. That's one of my favorite things to fish for is shark on a lure. But in this particular comp, you're forced to use a float rod, and it can be extremely slow. I did stick out the 8.0. Now, I think what I could have did there towards the end, once the peak increased, I probably should have went to a 10.0 just to see if I could get a few more commons and maybe another trophy. But also, this peak is so slow, I might play it two different ways. The first way I might play it is I will not change my hook size. I think you should probably start off with an 8.0. Here another tip. When that swims away, a lot of times it's either a trophy or a decent fish. Not every time, but a lot of times. So usually stick that out a couple minutes. As you can see here, I'm going to use the pullback method as well to try to initiate a strike, kind of teasing the bait a little bit. I reel up a little bit here, and then I'm going to back drag that down, as you can see, and I'm going to pull that right into a bite instantly. Ends up being a great fish here too, by the way. I'll go ahead and let this play out. I could do lift my rod tip up. It does seem to help, get ready to set the hook. Again, I would sometimes automatically will pull that up for you. Other times it will not. So you might want to, once you pull it back and you see a bite, go ahead and click it up. Just do not reel, so you will spook the shark out. But I think you guys see what I'm saying. In other words, you want that arrow down when you're dragging your rod. or you're dragging your float with your trolling motor, that does seem to help initiate a strike. Um, I do that numerous times in this run. I don't know if anybody that was watching me live stream this, but that's actually what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to drag that into a bite. Um, and much to my delight here, we got a nice trophy shark, and that is hard to do in this day and age, especially in a competition, but that did help me there. Now here, just going spot to spot, just kind of showing you how the rest of this run plays out. There's the setup, and if anybody's curious about the setup, I was using 27 inches. Pumpkin bobber might have helped me, might not. Again, some of it could just be an RNG, but I think looking back on that, so again, just the key tips here towards the end is I was just going from mark to mark, trying to just get one shark, keeping my bite rate fresh in an otherwise dismal peak. So again, I just go from mark to mark, trying to catch one single shark. That would be my advice in Adult Mulliman Shark, unless you have a really hot peak. Now, later on in the peak, I should have switched to two, and I'll show you why here at the end. I got 3 minutes left. I probably could have ended up, I was getting really good RNG in this as far as bite rate and that sort of thing, but I think a big part of it too was just going from spot to spot. Once I got in the routine, where I was at an active lake, so to speak, I was able to go from spot to spot, just catching one shark. But since that peak had picked up, I should have did probably two different things. I should have probably went ahead and went to a 10-0, trying to hope I can get a common. But nonetheless, I just stuck with what I was doing. But just to kind of prove my point here as I ramble on towards the end here, waiting for this arbitrary timer to play out. As annoying as this is, for some people, this is what's helped get rid of the telescopic glitch or the exploit. So I'm kind of glad they put that in, even if that can be frustrating to you. But just to kind of prove my point here in real time towards the end, the peak picked up. So my strategy in general, I think I probably should have changed there, probably that last 15-20 minutes real time. I probably could have got two per mark. And just to kind of prove my point here, this is real time right there at the end of my run. You can see how quick I sit here just for a few seconds right after catching that shark. I probably could have adjusted later on in the peak when the peak was actually good. I probably should have went two per marker. I probably could have ended up probably 4,500 pounds if I would have did that, as opposed to just going one. But as the time ran out here in real time, you can see it didn't take me too much longer, and I did have another strike. Another shark did come up within reason. So right there it was. I could have actually ended up with another shark if I would have, not let that time expire. But just food for thought. Start out in the first of the peak, go one per marker, and just kind of showing you here at the net at the end. I hope this helps you guys out. But 22 shark, take care, and we'll see you in the next.